In the southwest corner of Ireland, spread along a series of rugged peninsulas, is the county of Kerry. Wild and sea-swept, Kerry is a rugged and spectacular county. Kerry is also steeped in history, ancient history. Trailed along the roughened peninsula edges are ancient forts, high crosses, and other monuments giving the county an aura of medieval magic and mystique. Some of the ruins in Kerry go back to before the birth of Christ. Kerry is made up of three main peninsulas: the Dingle Peninsula, the Iveragh Peninsula, and the Beara Peninsula. Dingle and the Iveragh Peninsulas are two of the most beautiful and popular places in the whole of Ireland. Kerry has one of the mildest climates in Ireland. Lots of summer sunshine and deep blue sea bays ensure that Kerry is one of the most popular places for vacations. Situated in the gateway to the Dingle Peninsula is the town of Tralee. Almost 800 years old, this ancient city is the capital of County Kerry. The town has long been a rebellious one. In the 16th century, the last ruling Earl of the Desmonds was captured and executed. His head was sent to Elizabeth I, who had it displayed on London Bridge. There are subtle remnants of British rule here, such as the post boxes, which, instead of being painted bright red as in Britain, are painted bright green of Ireland. Quaint little pubs and restaurants lie scattered about the busy streets of Tralee. Tralee's most popular attraction, though, is the steam railway. The Tralee Steam Railway is one of Kerry's best-known features. It was once one of the world's most famous narrow-gauge railways running between Tralee and Dingle. The service started in 1891, but always had trouble paying its way. And 60 years later, in 1953, it was closed. However, in 1993, a section of the railway was reopened, that section being between Tralee and Blannerville, a 20-minute train ride. The steam train is powered by Loco number 5, the last surviving Tralee and Dingle engine. It has spent the last few years in the Steamtown Railway Museum in Vermont, but has been brought back to Ireland to run on the Tralee line. The carriages are not original, but are fitted out in the traditional style. Visitors to Tralee can enjoy the journey from Tralee to the other end of the line at Blannerville Windmill. Blannerville Windmill is an impressive and picturesque windmill that was built in the 18th century by Sir Rowland Blennerhassett, a wealthy merchant. The windmill has recently been restored to its former glory and is now the largest working windmill in Ireland. The mill produces stone-ground flour from local wheat. The huge sails drive the slow, methodical machinery hidden within the windmill. The slow whirring and clicking of the wheels mingle with the sound of the sails as they are spun slowly around by the gentle breeze. The wheat is poured onto the mill stone, and the freshly ground flour falls down the chute into the waiting sacks. This flour is made in exactly the same way as it was over 200 years ago. This well-known local saying, the American line, comes from the time when Blannerville was an emigration point during the Great Famine of 1845-1848.
Anybody going in the American line be down at the windmill in 10 minutes' time. Some people laughing and some people crying. That was the way till end of time.
Sailing ships left from here transporting thousands of Irish immigrants from Blannerville to destinations such as Britain, Canada, and the United States. One such ship was the Jeanie Johnston. This was one of the most famous vessels used to transport emigrants. During its vast number of journeys, it never once lost a passenger. This was an amazing statistic when you consider that the emigrant ships at that time were nicknamed the coffin ships. An eyewitness account at the time summed up the fear that these passengers felt boarding the emigrant ships bound for faraway places. It's impossible to describe the final parting. Shrieks and prayers, blessings and lamentations mingled in one great cry from those on the quay and those on the shipboard, until a band stationed in the forecastle struck up St. Patrick's Day. "Beat the brains out of the big drum or you'll not stifle the women's cries," said one of the sailors to the drummer. The communicating plank was withdrawn, and the ship moved forward majestically on its way. Some, overcome with emotion, fell down on the deck. Others waved handkerchiefs and hands to their friends. The band played louder, and the crowds on the shore rushed forward simultaneously, determined to see the last of those that they loved.
wait, I don't mind. Come on, over.
Moving westwards from Tralee along the jagged coastline of the Dingle Peninsula, you reach Dingle, the peninsula's main town. This gale-tacked Irish-speaking town has much to offer in the way of stunning scenery and stately mountains sloping down to peaceful beaches. The quiet golden sands merge gently with the tranquil blue waters of Dingle Bay. The town of Dingle is quite a classy tourist town, with excellent shops and wonderful restaurants. One of Dingle's more unusual places is Dick Mack's. Dick Mack's is a wonderfully eccentric place, with one side of the shop being a very traditional shoemaker's. However, things are not quite what they seem. On the other side of the shoe shop is a pub. Somehow, I suspect that this is the more profitable side of the business. Only in Ireland could you find a shoe shop that is also a pub. The town of Dingle is surrounded by beautiful countryside. Like most of Ireland, you don't have to travel far away from the towns before you reach more traditional villages and farms. All over the county of Kerry are many ancient sites, churches, prehistoric standing stones, and curious old ruins. Cycling or walking through Kerry is a good way to find many of the sites. Some are very small and difficult to find, leading to a feeling of discovery when you stumble upon something, wondering how many other people have discovered this. Dotted about the hillsides in this area are many strange little stone huts. These are known as clochans, or beehive huts. These beehive huts are actually medieval stone dwellings. Some are in better condition than others. None, however, are in better condition than the Gallerus Oratory. Simple yet very impressive, this structure is in perfect condition, despite being 1,200 years old. Dingle Harbor is a natural haven, offering protection and shelter from Atlantic storms. Long ago, this natural haven gave rise to a thriving smuggling industry. Today, visitors can take boat journeys all around the Kerry coastline, where, if you look hard, you may see some of the caves that may have been used long ago for smuggled goods. Dingle is favored not only by human visitors, but indeed by other mammals, or at least one other mammal. Fungi, the wandering dolphin, has long since established Dingle Bay as his home. A bottle-nosed dolphin, Fungi seems to have become separated from his original group and arrived in Dingle Bay alone. Since his arrival, he's become a celebrity. He enjoys human company, joining any nearby swimmer. There are boat trips from Dingle so that tourists can get a glimpse of Fungi, who will always leap out of the water to greet the occupants of the boats. South of the Dingle Peninsula is the Iveragh Peninsula, otherwise known as the Ring of Kerry. This is probably the most popular tourist route in Ireland. The Ring of Kerry is a route that takes the traveler along the dramatic coastline of this peninsula. One of the sights that is seen by anyone who takes the Ring of Kerry journey is the Skellig Islands. George Bernard Shaw said of the Skellig Islands, "I tell you that thing does not belong to any world that you or I have lived and worked in. It is part of our dream world." A boat trip to the islands confirms the truth of Shaw's comment. The largest of the two islands is Skellig Michael. This 700-foot-high jagged rock looks like the last place on earth where anyone would want to live. Yet Christian monks thought otherwise and settled here in the 7th century and survived there until the 13th century. The journey around the Ring of Kerry will also take you through the stunning Killarney National Park. The grandeur of this wilderness is breathtaking. Traveling on the roads that wind through woods, heather, mountains, and moors, it's impossible not to be reminded just what a beautiful place Ireland is. Nowhere is this reminder stronger than in one's first experience of Ladies' View. It's named after Queen Victoria and her ladies of waiting, who were also mesmerized by the very same view that mesmerizes us today. The park is a haven of lush foliage and expansive lakes. The lakes of Killarney are an incredible sight. It really is possible to sit on the shores of the lakes and forget the stresses and strains of modern life. A gentle walk, a boat trip, and by horseback are the only ways to travel through a landscape as gorgeous as this. The island-strewn peninsulas that trail westwards to the Atlantic are what make Kerry so special, along with the ever-present cool blue sea and the lush emerald wilderness. The pace of life is slow and gentle. County Kerry is a timeless place, a place where you feel that all this is never going to change, that this is the way it'll be years from now, the way it ought to be.